Hello, friend, and welcome. If you're new here, I'm real excited to meet you. And if you're returning, I hope you're having a much better day than the last time that we talked. And today, I just want to focus on what it is that we need to know right now about whatever's going on in our current life. And I just want to remind you that my readings do mix shadow work, intuitive messages, along with my tarot and oracle cards in order to get the best message for you. With that being said, these readings are meant to help guide you on your transformational journey so that way you can see yourself clearly, you can allow yourself to heal and grow at whatever is right for you, and that way you can do it one step at a time. There's our first card. So let's just go ahead and ask the cards. The tarot card specifically is what I'm starting out with. What it is that we need to know. That card. Right now, that's going to help us move forward. All right. And the card that literally jumped out at us is the Six of Pentacles. So I want to remind you that Pentacles are not just about your finances, it's also about time and energy, because you spend time and you spend energy. So whenever I see this card, it's a reminder that you're going to be receiving something soon. It's going to either be, it could be finances, but it also could be time or energy from somebody else. The important part is you being willing to receive. And it's one of those things, while yes, you are going to be, having something offered to you, if you refuse it, then you can't receive it. And you're gonna be like, Kirsten, that makes sense. I don't even know why you're explaining that. Okay, hear me out though. Say someone offers to help you, come over and clean your house, but you know that they don't clean the way that you do. And you're like, no, I'd rather clean it my way, but you really just need to get your house clean, and you refuse that help because you know they don't do it the way that you clean. Or is your house still gonna get clean? Yeah. But are you upset because the particulars don't match the exact way that you do it? Yeah. So are you really open to receiving help? Or are you just open to receiving the help that you want to have in the way you want to have it, and the perfect person, the perfect situation, the perfect way it's supposed to come to you? Understand that when the universe is doing what it needs to offer you help, sometimes it's in unexpected ways, and sometimes it's in ways that feel inconvenient to us. So ask yourself, how much are you willing to actually receive, and how much are you wanting to receive in a certain way that's your way? All right, our next card, Temperance in its reverse position. I want to remind you that this is an alchemy card, and whenever I see it, it means that you are applying knowledge that you know to real life. So an easy example of that is if you're making a cheesecake, you have the recipe and you're actually actively making the cheesecake. You're just not holding onto the recipe saying, I got the world's best cheesecake. So here's the thing about this in reversed. While you are actively applying whatever knowledge it is that you are trying to apply, you're finding that's not working, that it's being really aggravating, that, things aren't landing the way that they're supposed to. So back to that cheesecake metaphor, you have the recipe for the world's perfect cheesecake that's never going to have a crack in it, and you do everything right, but somehow your cheesecake still has a crack in it. And right now, when this card's in its reverse position, you're just kind of giving up and you're saying, what am I doing wrong? I'm failing. And you keep repeating the same thing over and over again. What you're being asked to do is to see what you can learn, what you can pivot, what you can alter slightly. What is it that you can change? Because it's not that the information that you have is wrong. It's that, or even that you're doing it wrong. It's that there's something that is outside your control that needs to have a better variable for it. So if you have an oven that's temperature doesn't match the actual temperature that it's supposed to, say your oven says it's at 350 degrees, but when you put a thermometer in there, it's only, it's at like 380. Well, that's going to be a reason that your cheesecake's not going to work. And it's going to be something that's going to be outside your control, and you're going to have to adjust and pivot for that. So understand that as you are applying whatever life lesson you're trying to do to your life right now, and you're finding it aggravating, you're finding that it's not working, instead of just saying, what am I doing wrong? How am I doing this wrong? How am I messing this up? Why can't I figure this out? Take a step back and say, okay, what am I doing right? And what can I work on better? What can I change? What can I pivot on? What can I alter a little bit? What circumstance or what thing in this moment can I see that is different than the last time, and how can I work with this? because this is where the real learning happens. As you keep integrating, as you keep working through this, the more that you adjust, the more that you pivot, the more things that you try and find the different results, the more experience you're going to get in this. And eventually, guess what? You're going to be doing it quote unquote right. So give yourself that ability to say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then we have the Five of Wands. So fives are all about change, and wands is that fire action-oriented suit where it's about your passion, your drive, your desires. And here you are just being so conflicted about how you want to get things done and how you want to do things. It's like you're trying to make the cheesecake and you're trying to make the cheesecake, you're trying to do laundry, you're trying to walk the dog, you're trying to feed the kids, you're trying to pay the bills, you're trying to, do your taxes, you're trying to fold the laundry, you're trying to take the trash out. You're trying to do this all at the exact same time. Can't do all those things at the exact same time. So pause and prioritize. What needs to be taken care of right now in this moment, and what can wait until later? What needs to be sought after right now? What is the immediate thing? Do you have a pot on the stove that's boiling over? Okay, maybe tend to that first. Your laundry can probably wait a little bit. The dog can go outside on the leash if needs to be. If you have a fenced-in yard or a lead, you can do that. I understand not everyone has that luxury, but it's one of those things where it's like, what is it that you can wait? What is it that can prioritize? And what is it that, can wait until tomorrow even? Because when you have this Five of Wands here, part of the issue is you are trying to make changes. You are trying to do things differently, but you're also running into the conflict of the fact that your brain doesn't like change. Yeah, I'll say that again. Your brain does not like change. So when you do things to try to change, when you do things to kind of create that difference, your brain is the thing that wants to be like, whoa, 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 what are we doing? This isn't how we've been doing it. Why are we doing it this way? This feels like more work. Because your brain doesn't like more work. Your brain wants the easy thing. And even though what you're doing might be easier in the long run, your brain doesn't realize that. So we need to prioritize, and we need to understand that while we're in this phase of doing things differently, of doing things in a different way, of changing, of integrating what it is that we know to create the reality that we're going after, it's going to feel uncomfortable for a little bit, but you really need to prioritize what needs to be done now versus what can be done later. Then we have the universe in its upright position. So the universe is you having a complete cycle. This is a major arcana, and this is the second major arcana. Okay. This is a major arcana, and this is you, finishing not just a chapter, but a storybook. This is you completing something that you never have to go through again. This is you being at the end of a chapter. This is you, at the end of a book. This is you graduating college and now being ready to move forward to whatever's next. This is you, moving and finding yourself in a new place and, a new space where, you have a blank slate again. And that can be exhilarating or that can be scary. It's up to you to decide how you handle this ultimate transition. It's up to you to decide how you want to move forward with this. You can be excited and you can let yourself go into it with, glee and happiness, or you can freeze and say, this is too much. I have a blank canvas in front of me and I might mess this up. Don't really pick the second option, but if you've already picked the second option, I get it. Because when you have that blank canvas staring in front of you, that first stroke can be terrifying because all your brain is telling you is that you're going to mess this up, you're going to mess this up, you're going to mess this up, and all you have to do is tell it to shush. I know, easier said than done. But every time my brain wants to tell me that I can't do something or I'm just going to mess it up, I challenge it to be like, okay, so then you tell me what the perfect first move is. And you know what? Half the time, I just hear silence. That silence is the peace that we're all looking for. So when I see this universe card, I see that you're changing. Your life is changing. Things around you are changing, but it's for your good. It's for your betterment. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this feels uncomfortable and it's really aggravating and there's a lot of things going on right now. I get that, but this isn't a permanent state. This is just a temporary state. And I honestly had to have a talk with a friend about a website that's very similar to how this feels. And the thing is I've been working on this website for about a month now, and I finally decided that we've hit a brick wall with it and I can't move any further based off what we want to do with it. So she asked me, she was like, okay, do you want to continue to move forward with this website or do you want to make a new one? My immediate answer is short-term Kirsten doesn't want to make a new one because that's going to be even more work and I'm just aggravated and I want to be done with it. But long-term Kirsten knows that a new server, a new site, starting completely from scratch on another, server is going to be better, and that's what we should do. So it's one of those where I'm leaving that old website, I'm leaving it behind, and I'm deciding, you know what? I'm going to go through the temporary discomfort of actually making another one. Again, learning its server, learning its site, learning how to create on a whole brand new thing, or, even just starting from scratch again because, this will be my third site. And I'm allowing myself to do that because I know in the long run, it's for the betterment of me. Just short term, it really freaking sucks. But also, she had the ability to give me some knowledge from somebody that she's working closely with, who's going to be using our new website space and who's already used it, knows how to use it. So while I like to be a person that learns firsthand and doesn't receive help from others, I'm going to be open to it. I'm going to receive. I'm going to take it in. I'm going to take it in whatever way I can because I'm tired of doing it alone. Because doing it alone has not taken me as far as I'd like it to. So you know what? It's about being open to receiving. I want to get some clarity about what's keeping us, like these two cards specifically, what is keeping us from being able to receive and, why we're letting our aggravations with the applied knowledge, why we're letting that temperance reverse just beat us down so much as it is. Because here's the thing, if you're at the universe, if you're at this card, typically it's a happy period and it's a moment of triumph and it's a moment of rejoicing and it's a moment of liberation because the old ways are no longer holding you back. So what's going on underneath the surface that we're not finding joy in this? Okay, the first card I have is Wusa, which is a call for stillness. Which, knowing that this is something that we're dealing with right now, I understand why stillness might be a big part of this. Finding that meditative space, finding that peace. And honestly, maybe if you put yourself in that meditative space, if you put yourself in a moment of peace, you'll find that what you're looking for, you already have. You've been so caught up in the actions, the moment, and the craziness of life that you haven't been able to pay attention to it. You're gonna be like, Kirsten, I don't have time to, okay, you do. Make it a priority sometime this week to give yourself 20 to 30 minutes to just sit in silence, be with yourself, to journal, to meditate, whatever it has to be. You can find that 20 to 30 minutes. I promise. If you make it a priority, you can find it. You have to make it a priority. You have to schedule it in. Yes, schedule it in like it's an appointment for something with yourself. You can do it. And then, if you can do that once a week and then give yourself 5 minutes a day, you're going to find clarity so much easier. You're going to find peace so much easier. So understand that part of this has to do with you just finding stillness and focusing on breath. Anger management. Interesting. So I want to remind you that anger is a neutral emotion. It's neither positive nor negative. We think of it as a negative emotion because we know the destruction behavior that can come with anger. We know that people can punch walls. We know that people can throw fits. We know that. But we also forget the benefits of that anger, the good things that we can do with anger. Angry cleaning my house is the cleanest and the quickest my house gets. Angrily stressed, like working to help heal a child. And you're going to be like, Kirsten, who angrily works to heal a child? Okay, now let me say the aggravated mother who bends themselves backwards to make sure that their kid stays alive through something, through an overnight fever or something like that. That is anger, keeping that mother pumped to make sure that she can keep her child alive. That is anger in a positive motion. Anger in a positive motion is you doing and saying the things that you need to stay calmly, but using that anger as the extra boon to help you have the courage to do it. So when I see anger management, my first question is, how do you view anger? How do you view your own anger? How do you see it? Do you see it as a curse, or do you see it as a blessing? Do you see it as something to be repressed and can't be shown? Or do you see it as the sign that you're being hurt and that you know that this isn't right? So therefore, you need to do something in order to allow it to be right. You need to stick up for yourself. You need to talk to somebody. You need to journal. You need to walk away from a situation. You need to set boundaries. What healthy ways can you utilize your anger to help you in this situation? Because again, anger is just an emotion. It's what you choose to do with it that makes the difference. Say less. Every time I see this card, my brain automatically goes, say less, do more. Because it's pretty much the same. But also this card just doesn't say do more. That's what my brain says. So say less. And that doesn't mean you need to be quiet when people are berating you. That doesn't mean you need to, shut your mouth when people are, saying bad things or putting you in your place, or putting you in their place or anything like that. Say less means only speak when it's important. Use your voice to only be used when it's necessary. Don't just be a gossiper. Don't just be a naysayer. Don't just be a complainer to complain. Don't be one of those people that are complaining that it's too windy, too cold, too hot, too wrong, too right, too left, too, silly, too loud, too quiet. It's about you using your words in a way that when you do speak, people are like, oh snap. Yeah, okay. She normally doesn't speak up about this stuff. This is important. Because if you're someone that just yaps, your words have little meaning. But if you're someone who talks, and every time you talk, there's reason and authority and understanding and compassion and motivation and drive in it, then yeah, people are going to listen. Now, I said earlier too that this card to me is always say less, do more. Part of it is too that it doesn't matter how much you talk or what you say, you still have to follow through with action. So you can say, these are my boundaries. You can say, this is what I'm going to do. You can do everything that you need to, but unless you follow it up with proper action, the words aren't going to have any effect and they're going to lose their meaning. So say less. Intimacy. Interesting. So intimacy doesn't have to be romantic. Yes, romantic intimacy is the most common and the most overly shown and talked about type of intimacy, but there is so much more than just romantic intimacy. There is emotional intimacy. There is intelligent intimacy. There is, platonic intimacy. And it's one of those things where intimacy is you just being able to be open and vulnerable with another person. That's all it is. You being able to be open and vulnerable. Now that seems scary because it kind of is. Here's the thing about it though. If you can be open and vulnerable and you can let people know what it is you actually need and allow yourself to receive, you're going to find that life gets a little bit better and a little bit easier just by talking about what is important. Not beating around the bush, not, glazing over the surface and being like, yeah, no, it's fine, even though you're that meme dumpster fire where, everything's on fire around you. It's about being honest and being vulnerable. But here's the catch. You can't be honest and vulnerable with other people until you're at least honest and vulnerable with yourself. So are you being honest with yourself? Are you telling yourself you have all this under control and honestly thinking you do when really you are one thread away from everything falling apart. Yeah. Understand that right now is a time where you need to connect with somebody and you need to be open about something. You need to be vulnerable. You need to get real about what your situation looks like. And I specifically asked for these cards to help us figure out what's keeping us from receiving and why things just seem to be falling apart. And part of it is just that you're so caught up in like being in a reactive state where your brain is just on autopilot and you're not giving yourself the chance to pause and see things from a different perspective. You're not giving yourself the chance to really just quiet down and be like, okay, what is it that I can do? And that need to just be rushed and to be busy and to just keep yourself in the middle of everything, even though you know that's not necessarily helping you, that's what's keeping you from receiving. So let's take that step back. Let's schedule that 20 to 30 minutes. Maybe it's not by yourself, maybe it's with conversation with a friend. Still think we need to have that conversation with ourselves first though. Because again, if we're not being honest with ourselves, talking about it to somebody else isn't going to make a difference if we're not honest with them as well. So what is it that we can do to help us be willing to receive more, to help us, be vulnerable and open and honest about what our situation is? Even if it's just with ourselves, because that's the first step, is being open and honest with ourselves. So let's see what the cards have to say about that. Because I get that they're, for the most part, they're asking us for a lot, but it is what it is. Safety. Safety is the foundation of life. Cherish the calm moments. Again, that need to find calm, that need to be still. If everything's on fire and you're just, burning fire after fire after fire, or you're in that dumpster fire meme I was literally talking about, you need to give yourself that time of calm. Because even though your external circumstances, there might not be any immediate danger, your brain is running on the fact that there's a bear chasing you right now, and it's just going and going and going, producing cortisol, producing adrenaline, producing everything it can to help keep you in the state of panic, in the state of stress, in the state of, danger, caution, just go, go, go. So you need to calm down. And if you aren't in a safe place, let's get to that safe place, and let's get out of the dangerous place. Support. Seek support. You don't have to bear everything alone. I talked about that with intimacy. I talked about that with the Six of Pentacles here. Literally, the cards can't be any more synchronistic. Seek support. You don't have to bear it alone. Find people who, can aid you. And if you don't know who can aid you, just talk to somebody, anybody. I'm sure you have a friend who, if they don't know the answer, they might have someone that knows the answer. Seek support, talk to somebody. And sometimes talking it out and being open and vulnerable and allowing yourself that intimacy with somebody can make the biggest difference. Sometimes the answers come when you allow that to happen. Adventure is the path to new worlds. So understand that the universe, spirit, source, whatever it is that you believe in, they see this as yes, you're going on an adventure. Literally what I was talking about with the universe, how you have this blank canvas in front of you, how you have the opportunity to have the end of a cycle and start something new and start something fresh. It's part of the adventure. It's part of your life story. Allow yourself to utilize this to start now, to start claiming your power and to start walking and start trailblazing your own adventure, your own path. Instead of being in such a reactive place, let's put ourselves in an active place where we're the ones actively taking authority over our own adventure, choosing our own paths, and deciding what it is that we want that's best for us. Then we have joy. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. So yes, right now you might not be in a great place. And I'm not going to be here and tell you, be thankful for where you're at. Look, Hindsight's 2020, and I can say that I'm thankful for the bad shit that happened to me in hindsight. And I'm not even thankful for the bad stuff that's happened to me. I'm thankful for the lessons I learned about myself, for the strength I learned about myself, for the character growth and development I had because of those moments. I'm not necessarily thankful for the bad stuff that happened to me. So understand when we get this card of joy, joy is the dance of the soul, enjoy every moment. This is one of those things where in this moment, find joy. Find things you can be happy about. Find things to be grateful for. I don't care if the only thing that you're thankful for is that you had a breeze on your face or that you had some water to drink today. That is enough. And the more things that you find to be thankful for, the more you're going to see more things. It's going to compound and it's going to help you focus on the positive. I'm not forcing the positive because the negative is part of life. There is that balance. But right now, you're being asked to find joy in the small things, and remember that it is part of the dance of life. Now I just want to ask for some encouragement to help us through this journey, to help us through the situation, because what you're going through is a transition, and transitions are confusing and they can be aggravating. But know that this is a temporary discomfort and that it's not permanent. And on the other side of it is going to be something bigger, something greater. You just need to allow yourself to receive, which has been mentioned over and over again throughout this reading. So what's our first card of encouragement here? Your fire is sacred. This is huge because that helps, like that goes with this whole anger thing that I was talking about. Anger is a fire emotion, but so is passion, so is love, so is drive. So if you feel like right now that the things inside of you are meaningless or worthless, remember your fire is sacred. What you burn for a reason. So allow yourself to use it and give yourself the ability to do something productive or healing with it, because you have it for a reason. Actions build confidence. That's what I was talking about with, say less and do more. It's one of those things where it's the more you allow yourself to do, the easier and better it's going to be. And I even talked about that with this 5 of Wands card, about how when you go to make changes, your brain wants to put the yield on and say, wait, this isn't how we normally do this. And even though you logically know that this change is going to be for the better for you, your brain doesn't like that temporary discomfort. Action builds confidence. Keep doing the actions, keep pushing through it, keep allowing yourself to do it, because this integration, it's not easy. I get that. But the more you keep doing the thing that you're, working towards doing, the easier it's going to get and the more confidence you're going to have in this. Progress, not perfection. This one's huge, especially when combined with this Temperance reverse card. Progress. Progress is everything. Perfection doesn't even exist. Progress is always there. The final result is whatever it needs to be. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. It doesn't have to be up to somebody's standards. We live in a world where we forget that good enough is something to strive for. Good enough is good enough. I love to cook, okay? And I make dinners all the time. I host things, I host people, and I just love it. But I can't say that any one of my meals has ever been perfect. But you know what? Everyone who comes to anything I've ever hosted always says how good the food is, how much they love eating it, how much they enjoy it. I can find a flaw with every dish though. I can find a flaw every time. But that's me expecting perfection. But really, what I need to focus on is the progress of how much better my meals get, how much more diverse they get, how much more I can do something new and challenging. That's what I need to focus on. And that's what you need to focus on too, the progress. You need to realize that it doesn't matter about perfection. It matters about how well you're doing it and if it's enough. Stop playing small. Always easier said than done, but a really good reminder that right now, that's what you're doing. You're in that small energy thinking that you don't have enough, that you can't do it, that it's never gonna happen. I don't say this, accusingly. I say it as someone who's also been in her own small energy, who, allowed herself to just think that I wasn't good enough and that I didn't have enough or I wasn't worth it. And trust me, I've been there, done that. Here's the thing. Stop playing small. Part of that starts with you opening up about what's honestly going on, about you allowing yourself to believe that you're worthy to receive that it is what you need to do, realizing that this adventure is meant for you, allowing yourself to calm your mind and to reach out for support. So stop, believing all the stories that everyone else is saying about you and start believing your own and start stepping into that spotlight. Like, this isn't even a lighthouse. You are a beacon of good. So let yourself be that beacon of good and let yourself be seen. Again, easier said than done, I know, but you can do this. And understand that as you move forward, that this is going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be a struggle always, because it's not going to be, but there is going to be struggles. But there's also going to be moments of peace and clarity. So allow yourself to find, benefits of both. This is your reading for today, and this is all I have for you. I hope it resonated, and if it did resonate, please let me know in the comments what resonated with you and what your takeaway with this reading is. If you want a private reading, there is a link in the description below. Hit me up. I do have some available dates still. And this is all I got for you today. I love you so much. I cannot wait to see you again in the next video so I can hear about how much your life has changed since the last video. So thank you so much for making it this far in the reading. I love you so much. Bye-bye.